Hello, friends. Do you ever contemplate or wonder about why it is so hard for us, all of us, to basically remember who we are? It sounds like it should be the easiest thing on planet Earth to remember who we are because it's who we are, right? How can we forget who we are? When you come down to that, it's like it makes no sense. But asking the question, is it safe to remember who we are? Is it safe to be who we are in our true nature? I think for most of us, there are a lot of layers of fear, of remembering that it has not been safe. And that when we were living that, it's as if the mirror of who we are, it got shattered and it was not safe. And we would retract back into that false image of who we are because we have experienced it too many times that who we truly are as God, as a divine being, as a spark of light, that it has not been welcomed here. And we have been taken out, we have been shamed, shunned, expelled, killed. And of course, most of us, if not all of us, who are light workers, who are here for these times, somewhere in our nervous system, in our DNA, whatever, we remember that. So there is an automatic shield of protection where even though we know who we are inside, but there's still some doubting it, we're not fully trusting it yet, because if we were, why is it not welcomed? So we have all these layers, and I can, of course, totally relate to that too. And my journey in this life has been to, keep moving through those, even though there still are layers where I'm not sure if it is 100% safe to just basically be my soul expression, own the fact that I am a being of light, that I am an I am, not an I am, that I am, that I am, I am, that I am the divinity and the oneness that is all there is. It's as if we have had to divert from that and then pretend and keep pretending that we are not that by creating a false image of ourselves that feels safer. Not that it is safer. Well, it may be safer in this dimension where everybody is pretending to not be that. So standing up in this dimension, that's where your head gets chopped off or you get hung on the cross, whatever other crazy things that have happened. And that is because this dimension has moved so far away from our true essence, our true nature, our true divinity, that it's almost like we can't handle that because we're so far removed, that feels so much more real because we're used to it, right? It's because it's familiar. It's as if being who we truly are and owning the fact that, it's like, yeah, I am God. Not as something better than or, higher than, but just like, yeah, this is actually, I am a God expression because what else can I be? That's all there is. So it can be, it's a big gap, and if we walk around feeling like we're this, undeserving, limiting, not good enough identity, it's a huge leap to suddenly start owning who you are and um, and anchoring it in. kind of grounding in that and not be afraid to be that anymore. It's an invitation again for all of us. If this resonates for you, if you think about walking around in the world, you don't have to vocalize it or verbalize it. Not necessary at all. That would probably be a bad idea. But we can at least start um, owning it ourselves, and admitting it to ourselves that we are that. And just by doing that, you might notice there's a lot of layers coming up already that will tell you, yeah, but what about this? And what about that? So you're that, you're not this. And those are the layers that we all have to move through and, learn to anchor in our true being and let that become our rod and our guiding light, that we always go here. We always go here. We always rest here. We always abide here. So that becomes it becomes it is our natural state, but then we align with our natural state because we keep coming back here and we keep leaving, that separate sense of self, that false identity behind. And yeah, there is fear in that. I totally understand. And that's why I often want to talk about it because it's a matter of normalizing what is normal, what is natural. I want to normalize it. I want to invite more of us to start owning that so that we're not so afraid to be that in the world, whether it's, vocal or silent, doesn't matter. For some, it may need to be, that we talk about it like I am here. But for the most part, I'm very silent about it. I can just meet most situations just with presence. And when I know I'm anchored in it, there's no doubting it, there's no fearing it. When I need to talk about it outside of here, I would say there is still some kind of a little hesitation, a little caution, because it is true that the world that we live in, they don't welcome that. They want to, they want to use labels on us, and it's blasphemy, and it's who do you think you are? All that stuff. It's like, well, I know who am. I thought I was that, but I don't think that anymore. Now I know that I'm this, and I want to really start embodying that. So I want to invite you to just maybe, I was going to say put on that rope, but in reality, it's taking off the rope that tells you that you're something else. Just for now, if you want to, just imagine just to take off that whole identity that is your name, your role, your gender, and just again see what's left when you do not wear those robes, those beliefs, those hidings, clothing, coverings. What is left? What is here? Always, always, always. It's just that we're not focusing on it. We're focusing on the robes and the clothing that we're using to cover who we truly are with. So just the invitation is, what would it be like just even for now, for a moment, just to be what is left here right now when you take off your name, your role, your gender, your job, your commitments, your past, your longings, your whatever it is. What is left when you just leave that behind? I want to invite you to do that often. If you don't do that often, then all your energy is focusing on your false sense of self. And that's going to be your experience. That false sense of self has a lot of fears to be this. Okay. So it's not just going to jump over here because there's all these hurdles telling it, no, it's not safe. You shouldn't do that. Remember what happened. This is what we need to be present with. I have many videos about how to work with, for instance, core beliefs and how to dismantle all that, how to be present with it. So we're not avoiding it, we're not bypassing it, we're actually going right in the core of it. So we become the full embodiment of who we are. We're not trying to, squirm around or something. We just come right into the core. And we realize that all these um, misidentifications and unintegrated parts, unloved parts, the only reason they're here is that we're not including them. We're trying to avoid them, even though we're fully identified with them. At the same time, we're also trying to get rid of them and avoid them. But we have to keep coming back to be here, be present with what is here without all that. And that's why don't we just take a moment right now and just let yourself ground in that feeling or in that experience of what is here when you just focus on here, when you just let yourself stay here and be present here. Lean into here. And you will feel that there is some kind of a presence. You can't deny that there is something here, right? There is something here when you just let go of all those garments. There is something here. And even though you may not know what it is, or it feels vague, you can't deny that there is something here. Now, the next invitation is to give yourself to that just by being it, just by being present with it, breathing into it, just like now. Super simple, very, very simple. And now imagine walking around in the world just as that, not as all that, not fighting it, engaging in it, but just being this presence here. And that's really all we need to do besides, whatever else we are moved to do. But this is the main place to put our energy. And if this is new to you, it may sound a little weird because we're so used to doing something and being something and improving something. But just an invitation, try it out. If you need help with that, you're always welcome to reach out to me and set up a self-discovery session with me. We can explore more and what's getting in the way and, how to really feel that and maybe stabilize in it. So with that, I want to wish you a beautiful rest of the day. And just you can stay in and as your presence as long as feels right.